Okay, what's up, guys? So, after looking at this for a second, I actually have some new ideas. So, I feel like putting the battery on the bottom is maybe not such a good idea. We want the highest amount of clearance as possible. So, maybe we can put the batteries in here. Doing this, I also got another idea. What we can do, perhaps, is look, watch this. So, since what we changed all these spots to have gaps between the servo and this. What if this would be a nice idea? I checked some of the motors I have. I actually have a RTX 4070 motor, fan laying around. I have three of them. What if perhaps we did this? We add a chamfer here, right? Um, yes, let's do, can we do 8? We want as big as possible. Let's do 8. What if we add a chamfer here, right? And made it so that there is, let's see here, how do we do this? How do I want to do this? And, okay, how do I get rid of all this? We also added chamfer here. No, not a chamfer. We added something here that connects to this part so that airflow will be pushed from this spot all the way out here and airflow will flow out here. We can either do that or have a fan blowing outwards or blowing inward. That doesn't really matter. Blowing inwards, outward, it actually does not matter. But we have a fan here. So let's just go in the middle. Capture position. Okay, let me think. Do I want it in the middle? Because I think I'm going to mount the battery in here too. Okay, let's see how we can put the battery first. And then we can go about making the fan to have optimal cooling and optimal airflow. How can we do that? Let's see. These batteries are quite big and chunky. Okay, so we need at least 2 batteries to fit. If we want a third one, we can worry about that later. So let's see here. We can definitely have a battery here and here. Maybe we can, I think what we're gonna do is rotate it like this. Let's check the length of this battery. From here to here is 42. This is 42, so this technically will fit good, I think. Alright, let's see. Okay, so let's show all components. I'm not sure why I can't click. Oh, it's measures on. Okay. Show all components. We don't need this. Okay, where's the other battery? Like, come on. Okay. So we are able to fit 2 batteries here. I think I'm going to mount some of the electronics up here rather than down here. So let's take this pie and move it up. I don't want to mount the batteries underneath here after some consideration. Okay, so how can we mount this? Maybe using blower fans could perhaps even be a better idea. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so we do have enough space to fit the batteries. But the thing about this is the airflow problem. So, okay, so I feel like some of the problems that I'm having an issue with is where to mount the batteries. We can either mount it on the bottom or mount it in the middle and mount the electronics on top. I'm not sure. I feel like this isn't a very optimal way to do it because if we did this, all of the because we can still fit some electronics in here, and I don't know if I want to mount the battery in the same compartment as the electronics. So I think we're gonna have to somehow mount it on the bottom, which is not what I want, but it might have to be done. Okay, let's go to Orwell Hexapod. I really, really like this hexapod here. And we can see that it has, I think it's mounting its batteries down here too. And I don't think it would be too big of an issue just because of how much clearance these legs have. So I think we're gonna have to stick with the battery on the bottom. Let's go ahead and create a capture position. Let's create a thing for the so we can go 80 and essentially just extrude this all the way through. And then we can mount a fan on the underside of this. And then perhaps the battery here and here, but that's gonna cover up some. Okay, that's not very optimal. Let's bring back the battery. Yes, I feel like this is not good because essentially this will just cover up everything. Okay, let me think of another solution. Okay, I think I've actually came up with a different solution. Instead of mounting the fan on the bottom, we can maybe mount it here. Okay, yes, this would work. And just pull, okay, yes, yes, yes. This is actually not a bad idea at all. So basically, we'll have mount a fan in the middle here, pulling the air upwards, which is a pretty good idea too, because hot air flows up, so we can pull the air upwards. And the air will come in from all of these spots here, all of these spots, and it will pull the air upwards. Or we could pull it out this way. That'd be pretty nice too. But I don't think that will work because these are actually 60 and mine fan is 80. We could go to Amazon and look for 60 millimeter. 60. I mean, they obviously do sell them too. $60 by $10. Okay, we do have blower fans. Why is this? Okay, maybe blower fans is better for what we want. Maybe it's not. I think what we will do is go with a higher airflow. Just one of these. PWM, okay. 60 by, okay. 60, but I don't know if I want to buy more fans. let's check something real quick. Here to here is 52. Here to here is 60. I think we're gonna go stick with one fan somewhere back here, pulling the air outwards. Or pulling the air down. Either way, we'll have a fan up here that's directing airflow into here. So let's actually create a new component. No. Isolate. And do what we want. So what I want to happen is something like this. Let's see. Let's extrude this up 1. And extrude this up 1, 2. And essentially what we'll have is create sketch here. And and we will go out 5. And we'll extrude. Okay, if we extrude right here, that's 10.5. We want to go 5 more. So negative 15.5. And let's do a 2 sides. Although this will hit it. Is that an issue? Is that an issue? That is not an issue, I believe. Actually, it might be an issue. Okay, that is definitely going to be an issue. Alright, so... yeah, so this won't work. I really want a way to sync everything here, but these bolts will be in the way. Unless I cut the bolt and then it will technically work. Oh man, okay. I feel like that would make it more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, let's hold off on this design and let's just do what we need to do first. Okay, so show all bodies. Show all components. Okay. The thing we need to do is 100% add some supports here. Should we add it on the outside or inside? Or we can do it on both. Let's look at my robot here. We should probably add it on the outside. Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. So let's just go ahead and add it on the outside. I think it does matter because eventually if we need to mount armor or something, it would be better if it's on the outside. So let's go here, create a sketch. And where should I mount it? I think somewhere from... I think we'll just go somewhere in the middle. So from here to... I think right past this point. We can do it right on this point. Somewhere like this will look pretty nice. Yeah, I think this will be good. We'll have strength here. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, we need to connect these 2 points. Like this. We can extrude this out. Pause. Before I do that, from here to here should be how much? 31.5. Okay. Let me actually check if these two are even 10. And that's also 10. Okay, so, wait, what was it again? 31.5? How did I already forget? Yeah, 31.5. So we would need to extrude this. 31.5. And do a new body. I'm going to take this body and move it over so that it lines up. There we go. Okay, this looks pretty good. This will make it a lot stronger, and you need to add some sort of, probably some sort of lines like this. How do we go about doing that? Let's see. Create a sketch here, and we can go let's do a offset -5. Okay, maybe not like that actually. Actually, no, not like that. We can just go like this. Say it was 30, okay, I think this will work. Let's see, from here to here, let's do 5. From here to here, 5. Okay, nice. And then here to here. We can how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it like this? Extrude out 10 is probably good. Your body. And then we can have this going across with a rectangular pattern. Where is that? Or no, a pattern on path? What is that? Just pattern on path. Maybe we need to do this. The path would be this. Okay, yes, this is nice. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Alright, so it should be probably faced in a little bit more. Is there a way I can rotate it? I doubt there is. Path. Oh, there is. Okay, nice. This is a very, Fusion's such a nice tool. Okay, so there. And then let's do quantity 7. It's probably too much. 6. Maybe we can do 5. Yep, this looks nice. Okay. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Let's do a combine. This one, this one, this one, this one. Cut. Okay, not bad, not bad. But I feel like we can actually wait. do this side yet? I did, okay. About this. One, and... Okay, something like this is a little bit better. And then we can have the screws mounted on the outside, create sketch. Let's do a project of this and this. Okay. I know, let's also do a project of not just that, and so we can do this entire thing and this entire thing. Okay, and then look at this. Now let's just do an offset here of -5, and then relatively in the middle, so right around here, M3I. Okay, so we'll do M3, and then M3I to M3. Okay, let me think. Are we doing M3? We should do M3. Yep. Select this and this. E for extrude all the way through. Okay. Here, 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 and here. We'll do a chamfer of M3 chamfer. Nice. Okay. Now let's get rid of this, get rid of this. Create a sketch here. M3 insert. M3 insert. M3 insert. So a good thing about these little platings is that we can expand. We don't have to just add plates here for support. We can add, make this solid, and then we can add holes, and then we can mount armor to it, which would be pretty nice. And a bunch of these we can add zip ties to here to add in the camo netting eventually, which I'll probably end up doing. Not bad at all, not bad, okay. Let's go ahead and actually... Let's not add this yet, let's do that later. But let me look at the already printed part. Yeah, so definitely need to add a fillet here somehow. This would make it look better and be stronger overall. And we'll replace this with this here. Maybe instead of going like this, we can actually go the other way. So let's copy paste this. Extrude. Okay, and then we can do a create sketch here and here. From this to this, we can do 5. This will make the overall theme match up. And it'll actually make the printability easier. Strength really shouldn't be that big of an issue, I think. Here and here. Extrude, extrude. Okay, why is it... Oh. There we go. Extrude 10. New body. Okay, and then let's go to our new tool that we just now discovered. So, pattern rectangular, path, follow path. The path should be this, and then path direction. And then we can make this. Okay, wait a second. Why is it not identical? Okay, maybe here we should do identical. Path direction. I think identical would look a little bit better. Yeah, let's just go with that. Somewhere around here. And then we will do a... I think we did 6 or 5? No, 5. Yep, this looks pretty nice, I think. Although... I do want this turned slightly. I mean, we can just move this by hand. Turn in a few degrees, not a big deal. A little bit more. Not a big deal at all, doing this by hand. Nice. Now let's also turn this. Not bad, not bad. Okay, get rid of this, get rid of this. Here, 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 here. Cut. Okay, this I think actually fits our overall theme better, perhaps. Perhaps we should have done 5. But I think it's okay. So the Q, -1, let's do -1.5. Make it a little bit thinner. Yeah, this looks not bad. Alright. And eventually I'll probably add chamfers here and here. Chamfer of 2. Yeah, that looks nice. So we have this grill, this grill, this grill. We have 3 different grills to choose from. This, I really like how this looks. This looks very nice, in my opinion. Trying to think, what else could we add? I really want to test if this is strong enough, or if this is a good idea, or if we can improve this design even further somehow. But I think this is a very major upgrade to what we had. I think our main goal right now is to work on the body and work on the control. I am not sure if a Servo 24T will be good enough to handle this amount of current, which I doubt it will be. So I need to go ahead and look at the specs of that. I also am going to be adding a... Yeah, wait, this is USB connected. We can add a air horn, or not air horn, a speaker. I want a loud speaker. I want a loudspeaker, something maybe like this. I want a speaker and a mic, so I can communicate with the robot via voice. That'd be a pretty epic thing. So I'm going to go ahead and... Well, what is this? Okay, that's weird. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go gather more information on all the parts that I want to use. I don't like this. I don't like that. There we go. It's fixed. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go see what I can... Also, probably need to somehow make a... Oh, also, one thing. We need to create sketch here. and make this touch more because right now they're not in contact, which is not what we want. Let's see. Can we just add a chamfer here? Is there a tool for that? There should be, right? Let's see here. Wait, can we just use this, low-key? Okay, yeah, we can just do this. Okay. That's good, I guess. What is this? Okay, yeah. Let's move this somehow in the middle. There we go. Extrude here. Rejoin. Can we get rid of this? There we go. Okay, there we go. That looks a lot. This will be a lot stronger. Okay, yeah, this is a lot better than before. Let's do a project of this here and then extrude here. Okay. Get rid of this and rid of this. Alright, nice. Not bad, not bad. So this should definitely make it a lot stronger. Let's check some other stuff here. Yes, let's check from here to here is 51.5. From here to here is... Huh. Strange. Looking at the finished model, this lines up pretty well. This is a little loose. I'm just worried about this joint right here because I feel like this joint is a little bit loose. But I don't think it'll be a major problem once we add this. Alright.